Hello, everyone, and welcome back to FluentUp English, the podcast where we can all improve our English by simply listening. Today, I would like to share a personal experience that can possibly be a valuable lesson for you all. It was a small thing, like checking your phone in the morning, but it had a significant impact on my life. You might be wondering, so that doesn't sound like a huge deal, right? And let me assure you, I thought the same initially. Typically, my phone would ring with my alarm. I'd open my eyes, and without really thinking, I'd grab it. It would be a simple action, like turning off a switch. However, I didn't even realize that I was engaging in behavior that was disrupting my morning routine. Remember back a couple of months, when I used to check my phone immediately after waking up. My alarm would ring, and I would jump out of bed, doing anything before I even took my first breath. I wouldn't think twice about going straight to my phone. At first, that lasted for a few minutes or even less, but eventually it started to have a bigger impact on my day. Initially, I felt fine with it, as if it was just a normal part of waking up slowly. However, it slowly started to disrupt my sleep, affect my mood, and even drain my energy. And that's when I paid attention. When I started noticing these effects, it was when I started realizing that I was doing something that wasn't helping me grow, learn, or feel inspired. Instead, I was engaging in a mindless, unfocused activity that wasn't benefiting my mental or emotional well-being. So there I was, sitting down today, writing this story with a deep breath, having a conversation with myself. That moment of clarity, where I decided enough is enough, was crucial. You see, 1 week ago, I made a conscious decision to transform my morning routine. For 1 whole week, I would refrain from checking my phone for the first hour. No messages, no distractions, just peaceful calmness. It started off tough because I had to let go of my habits. It felt like breaking a sweat. There were days when I couldn't wait to have my phone near me. But I kept reminding myself, I choose serenity over scrolling. Or I deserve more than constant digital stimulation. As time passed, I started to notice some significant changes. Initially, it felt tough to let go of the comforting habits, but eventually, I started to enjoy the peace and quiet of the early morning. Before I knew it, my mind was filled with things I needed to do, and my energy was refreshed. I don't know for sure how this little experiment will affect your mornings, but for me, it served as a powerful reminder that we should always strive for balance and mindfulness. When it comes to our lives, we should choose to engage our minds with purposefulness and avoid mindless consumption. So, the next time you find yourself tempted by your phone, embrace the mindfulness, the peace, and the connection with yourself that these moments bring. At first, I felt bored and didn't know what to do. I wasn't used to sitting in silence, but slowly something started to change. My mind began to clear and I started thinking about my day, my plans, my feelings. I was hearing my own thoughts again. On day 2, I was better prepared. I put a book next to my bed instead of my phone. When I woke up, I read a few pages, made breakfast slowly, and listened to the sounds outside. That day, I was more focused and calmer. I wasn't checking my phone every few minutes. By day 3, I started writing a few lines in a journal each morning. Nothing deep, just thoughts like, today I feel calm. The sky is cloudy. I want to focus on small tasks. It wasn't about writing something beautiful. It was about connecting with myself before the world rushed in. By the end of the week, I didn't miss my phone in the morning. I enjoyed that hour of quiet. When I finally checked my phone around 9 or 10 a.m., I wasn't anxious. I didn't feel like I had missed anything. I felt in control. This experiment showed me something simple. The way we start the day matters. If we begin in a rush, our whole day feels rushed. If we begin with noise, our mind feels scattered. But if we begin with calm, we feel more focused. Scientifically, when we first wake up, our brain is in a theta state. It's calm and creative. But when we check our phones immediately, our brain jumps into beta waves, fast and stressed. That sudden change can cause anxiety and increase cortisol, the stress hormone. It fills our mind with other people's thoughts before we've had time to think for ourselves. The solution isn't to stop using phones completely. I still use mine for work, learning, and fun, but I use it more mindfully now. If you want to try a new morning routine, here are some tips. Keep your phone away from your bed. Use a real alarm clock. Prepare something else for the morning like a book, journal, or short walk. Start small, maybe 10 or 20 minutes without a screen. Don't be hard on yourself. Some days you'll forget, and that's okay. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. These days I try to keep the first 30 to 60 minutes of my morning screen-free. I wake up slowly, stretch, drink water, and sometimes write. Some mornings I still feel the urge to check my phone, but I remind myself why I started. And I feel better. Not perfect, but better, more calm, more present. I think that's what we all need in the morning. A moment of peace before the day begins. Thanks for listening to this episode of FluentUp English. If you liked it, try listening again or tell a friend about it. And if you're curious, try your own phone-free morning. Just 1 hour. You might be surprised by what you discover. Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of your mornings.